What's up, people? How you doing? I'm Paul,
And I'm Andrew.
and welcome back to the Fan Voice. Today is going to be a special, shorter episode. We're going to be going out of town, so we're doubling up on recording to get you a special, hearty discussion.
Yes.
Even though this is a shorter episode,
Yeah.
it will be a super valuable one, nonetheless.
Yep.
And to start off, I got one shout out to go to my brother, Aaron.
Oh, okay.
And I just wanted to tell a little story that will leeway into our big discussion.
All right.
So we were out for Greek food one night with the family, and we're driving back, and he randomly says to me, "If you were to have any superpower, what would it be?" And he said, "Mine would be teleportation." And he gives all these awesome reasons why he is like, I could be anywhere at any time, sneak up on people, all that jazz.
Pretty legit superpower, I'm not gonna lie.
Seriously. But you know what my response was to that?
What?
I was like, oh yeah, that'd be great. You would save so much money on commute.
Paul!
And I'm like, wow, that's so adult. I might actually be growing up a little or something.
So is that why we're doing this now? So you can be thinking outside of that?
Yeah. All my top superpowers are for businessmen. But that's our topic for the evening.
Yep.
IGN released an article a while ago about top 100 superpowers.
Yeah.
And we're not going to be giving you 100.
No.
Sorry.
It's not going to happen.
But we're going to each give our top 5.
Yeah.
And go into discussion about what makes them amazing and why we choose these powers above all else.
And I want to say that the IGN list is cool, but the top 10 is meh. The top 10 is
the
like,
biggest regular stuff,
it's
you know?
generic.
Yes.
I have a few generic ones, I will admit.
Uh-huh.
But it's generic.
We got to mix. We got a healthy mix.
It's true. Because if number 1 is Flight, because that's the IGN, is the number 1 coolest superpower is Flight.
I mean, it's cool, but there's so much more cooler ones out there, you know?
Superman. That's the only reason they gave it number 1.
I'll have to agree with you there.
Yeah, kind of. All right, so what are we gonna start on with the superpowers?
Okay, so the first one we're gonna start on, we decided, is everyone loves control of the elements and stuff, and you know, we've done some D20 things and looked into our hearts and said, what element would we choose?
There's a lot of discussions about the show Avatar: The Last Airbender. If you haven't seen it, I would recommend it 100%. It's a very good show.
Absolutely wonderful.
And there's 4 elements that you can, they call it bending, but it's basically manipulation of the elements.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
the ones that we chosen, I chose water.
Yeah, and I chose air. So,
do you want to start? Or
sure, I'll start.
Okay.
So, air is just, in my opinion, it's the best because there's so much potential with it. I mean, there's so much potential with water because water's so interesting because you can freeze it.
Yeah.
But I like the idea of like creating a bubble with no air around somebody's head. I mean, that's getting a little ridiculous, but like just the crazy ass shit you could do with air.
It's true.
The greatest part about that, in my opinion, is that you can't see any of it, and that's the most interesting part.
That's what makes it so offensively and evasively powerful.
So, I mean, for me, air manipulation would just like be the fucking best. It'd be amazing. And there's so many points in Avatar: The Last Airbender that he gets around using air.
Yeah.
That I'm like, that's just too awesome. The glider.
Absolutely, just sitting on that air bubble the whole time.
Yeah, sitting on the air bubble, like running up walls and using bursts of air to like get up walls. And like, I don't know, there's so many, I don't know, it's really interesting, like, movement-wise, what you'd be able to do with that.
Your mobility is just, like, heightened, like, tenfold, pretty much.
So that's why I love air.
Yeah.
Personally.
For me, I am a big water fan because out of all of the elements, I feel like I am water. You know? Just calm, but at the same time versatile. It is as Iroh put it, it is the element of change and adaptation
Okay.
and stuff
All right,
like that.
shit, you're getting deep. I wasn't expecting that.
It just resonates with
And
me.
now
Man.
I'm outclassed.
No, absolutely not.
I mean, I'm totally like air. What are you talking about? It's like I flow like the wind. All right, cool. Now I'm good.
You're a burst of invisibility.
Yeah,
No one sees you coming.
I like that. I like that better. Shit, you're so good at this.
But at the same time, combatively, it holds so much incredible creativity to it. Like you have the different elements it could change in, the different like particles it could change into.
Yeah.
It could be a solid, liquid, and gas.
Mhm.
You can create fog for escapes or weaponry out of ice, and of course water, which can like take tons of different shapes and forms to like basically pulverize and drown your enemies and such. And I just love the amount of creativity that can go into it. Similar to what you were saying with air.
Yeah.
In our D20 thing, one of my favorite things was I had a narwhal tusk filled with water, and I would just make it float everywhere and shoot at people and stuff, kind of thing, you know?
That's really cool.
And there's also I also want to bring up like Avatar, The Last Airbender. The most intense thing about that show in the water elements was the blood bending.
Yeah.
Which is an absolutely
bending someone's body.
Yeah, it's a very scary power, but of course, they did not tap the potential of it for avoiding violence. Of course,
of course, yeah.
Literally, you can make someone's body explode.
Yeah,
kind of thing. Water controlling is a very fierce element to control.
It really is. Actually, if you think about it, there's so many stabbing people with ice too.
Yeah,
that's the other thing. It's like, I don't know. There's a lot of really scary potential there for water bending.
Yep. So should we move to our next? Do you wanna go into your next one first, or should I?
Yeah, I'll go into my next one. So
okay.
I'll go with the more generic one here, which was I picked super speed on this list, and the reason I did that is I love the Flash. And I love the ability of the abilities of the Flash move past like I can move super fast to like him doing crazy ass stuff with it, and that's why I like the kind of potential of super speed and the fact that it starts out really simple.
Right.
Like I can just move super fast, which means when you fight me, you have to like either know where I'm gonna be or be as fast as me.
Exactly.
Or something. Because when he fights, he's just all around you. All at one point.
Even if you can see him, it's like, what's the point? Kind of like in Naruto. Like,
oh yeah,
what is it when Sasuke first gets Sharingan but Rock Lee still kicks his butt?
Yeah,
it's like, what's the point of following with your eyes if your body can't keep up?
Yeah,
kind of thing.
Exactly. So I really like the idea of the Flash because at some point he literally gets the ability to like travel through walls. He goes so fast.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
How does that work?
He like his atoms move so fast.
Oh my.
They can go through other like molecules, like a solid surface.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And that's
I did not know that.
Yeah. And so he like gets that ability at some. I think it's like really dangerous. And I don't remember because I haven't read it in a really long time.
Right.
But I'm guessing it gets really dangerous and he doesn't do it that often. But like I just like the idea of all of that. You know, and being able to like literally kick up a tornado because you're going so fast, right? Stuff like that.
I feel like your love for speed and air kind of go hand in hand.
They kind of do, actually.
Yeah.
Now that we're talking about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of.
It's cool.
So anyway, that was my super generic one.
Yeah.
But
I got a super generic one too.
Oh no way!
Yeah.
What super generic one?
Okay, so my number 4, the super generic one, is psychic abilities.
Yes.
And I think that's really cool all around because it encompasses it can encompass a bunch of different things, like along with like pushing things with mind control and stuff. You can like it could even delve into telepathy a bit and then like making yourself fly, kind of thing. But most of all, I feel like I relate to this power because if I were to have any superpower, looking purely at a combative standpoint, I feel like I'd be a really passive fighter. You know?
Yeah.
And stuff with like psychic abilities and stuff to put a huge distance between me and the opponent. I feel like that's how I'd fight. And maybe that kind of like influenced my choice of water, you know?
Yeah, that's true.
It can work in the same way, and how I fought in our D20 a lot was like really far away and stuff.
Good point. Yeah. That's a really good point. So and actually, that's kind of interesting because I'm kind of the opposite with.
Yeah, you were just full front fighting the whole time.
I was always there, and that has a lot to do with like why I picked super speed, for instance.
Yeah,
because I'm like, I want to be in somebody's face.
Exactly.
But be able to run away. You know,
right.
That's a safe bet. But no, I want to be there. I want to be up in somebody's face.
Yeah, I'm completely the opposite. I'm just like, funny. Stay away from me.
So would you want to be like Jean Grey type of psychic? Or like, I mean, I guess more of like a telepathic sort of psychic? Or like a what's the other one? Telekinesis, like being able to move things.
Probably the move things, I would say. Because that I feel like that could help more in fights.
That's true.
You know, physical fights.
Yeah, because like Professor X doesn't really help out a lot.
He's just like, stop this. Yeah. I'm not saying it with my mouth. I'm saying it with my mind.
But he's good at it. That's
yeah. He's influential.
Yeah, Yeah, he's pretty good at it.
He's a good guy. Yeah.
All right. So psychic abilities. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Especially since, seeing you go crazy like Jean Grey might be kind of entertaining. That's the thing.
I can't even see myself doing that.
Would you That'd be really funny. Power? Like, would you get so like I can do everything and hear everybody and like?
I think seeing me go crazy with psychic power would be just as rare as seeing me drunk.
All right. Well, that answers that question.
Yeah. So not very often.
All right.
So I guess I'll start the next one. Okay. So my next one up is the ability to copy abilities, which is I guess, what is it? So I don't follow the like standard superhero ones as much.
Yeah.
But I'm a huge fan of Kirby. And of course Ditto from Pokemon.
Yep.
So
just swallow up your enemies.
Yeah.
Steal their powers. I love it. I love that idea.
I'm not too crazy about the swallowing part, but
yeah.
It'll be like, I see you. I got your powers.
It's kind of like
more like Ditto.
Yeah. Well, it's also kind of like Skylar from Heroes.
Right. Yeah.
Exactly. He's able to kind of steal that when he does it a little bit more violently, obviously.
Oh, Sylar.
Sylar, not Skylar.
Yeah. That's just nuts.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. He's able to like absorb people's powers.
Yeah, right.
But I don't know. Copying like moves would be really interesting.
Definitely. Like I think I've really been attracted to this through the fighting games I've played, as well as Pokemon recently. Mm-hmm. In X and Y, I started raising a Ditto. And I just love the idea of coming up with combat on the spot. Take what you can get kind of thing, what you're handed, and then making the best out of it. I think that versatility and thinking on the spot adaptation kind of thing is such a cool idea and makes you an all-around stronger person in every aspect.
That's true.
It's the improv of superpowers.
Yeah, that's very true.
I want to get better at improv too.
Yeah. But I actually think this power. It's kind of funny because I think some people would call this power cheating. Because it's like, well, you could just steal any power. Then it's like, but
not necessarily. It would depend on
how you take people's powers.
Exactly. That's the way I see it is temporarily taking it, only fighting them kind of thing.
Exactly.
So it's like fighting them with what they have.
Uh-huh.
Like, you can't complain about that. You should know better.
It's always a mirror match.
Exactly.
Always a mirror fight.
Exactly.
Yeah. That would be kind of interesting.
So it's just
You're
like,
right.
I'll test your strength.
Super strength against super strength. Who wins?
Yeah, man.
All right. Well, what is the other one? Okay, so I put on here kind of goes along with psychic abilities, but it's a little bit different, of mind control.
Yes.
And Jean Grey also did a little bit of this, because she was, like, so powerful.
Right, yeah.
But I'm talking more like, I look in your eyes and I can control everything about you all the time.
Yes.
And that's awesome to me.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
it's also a really scary thing. I think it's kind of interesting. This is an interesting power to think about from the superhero point of view, because it's like, that's a lot of power.
Right.
You're not just...
When you think of powers to go mad with, this is definitely one of them.
This is, like, at the top, in my opinion, because it's like, you're not just... You don't just have super strength. Like, you have to control your power. It's like, yeah, but it's like, you literally control someone else.
Yeah,
there is such an enormous responsibility with that.
Seriously.
Like, how do you keep yourself from just being like, God damn it, I want a raise. Fuck it, you're gonna give me a raise right now.
Yeah.
That's
very true. It could affect every single part of your life, basically.
It really would, and would it leak? Like, if we're talking like regular or more run of the mill superhero type here, we're talking about secret identity. Would it leak into your normal life? Like, how do you control that?
I can see tons of people abusing that. Of course.
How do you control the impulse?
So how would you use it in a good way?
In a good way?
Yeah.
I don't even know. I mean, it would be like normal, like superhero stuff, like somebody robbing a bank, and I want to stop them. Then I'm able to control them and kind of deteriorate the group from the inside by taking control of the leader or something, right?
Okay.
Something like that. But I feel like the way I've always thought about mind control too is the way it works is like looking at someone.
Okay.
And then maintaining eye contact, basically.
Yeah.
Or even if you don't, if you just look at them once, then you have control for a period of time.
Okay.
So for me, I'm like, like fighting bad guys and stopping crime would be like the number one thing, basically.
Yeah, definitely.
Right? But how would you do that? And you wouldn't really have. And that's the other thing about this. You wouldn't want to even have like a public identity as that. Like, you want to keep hidden.
Right.
Because I'm not physically strong. I can just control people's actions and minds.
But I think having mind control, that power, you have definitely an advantage of hiding. Because it's not a very like visually attracting power.
Yeah.
It's just totally, look in my eyes. Just a regular person passing by.
Mm-hmm.
Like, everyone around you probably couldn't even know it, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Unless you're totally being weird about it. Like, standing next to someone's shoulder.
Like,
take him down. Do it now.
Yeah, that'd be a little weird.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I think that's why this power interests me so much. Because I feel like the possibilities for, like, stopping crime, and, like, solving mysteries and all that kind of stuff is very big.
Yeah.
And you have to, like, keep it secret. But the other side of that, like, just having that power in an everyday world, how would you keep that under control?
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like both the urge to not abuse it, as well as the ability to keep it secret pretty well, kind of resonates a lot with Death Note.
That's a good point, actually.
In its levels.
Yeah, so Death Note was an anime that, when did that come out?
It was
a while ago.
A little while ago now. But it's an amazing anime.
There's a character in that kind of has mind control abilities. In a way, yeah.
Basically, the Death Note that he finds, he writes someone's name in it and they die. Yeah. But he can also write the way they die and what they do and stuff kind of thing. So, of course, he goes mad with power. And there are people hot on his trail kind of thing in a similar sense. But on the outside, he's just a kid writing in a book, And I feel like the mind control power definitely has the same subtlety to it.
Yeah.
If used correctly.
Yeah, exactly. If used responsibly.
Yeah.
Correctly.
Are you going to be laughing maniacally in a warehouse and then get shot?
I hope not. But dude, I would be so hard.
It would be
so
honestly.
Hard.
It would be.
Not to just be like, you know what? Fuck you. I could just do anything I wanted all day. Like, how do you not? I don't know.
Right?
I don't know.
Oh my goodness.
Anyway, all right. So should I mention another one of mine? Or,
sure. Go for it.
Okay. So the other one I had on here was controlling machines. So this is like I've heard it said as like cyberkinesis, which I think is kind of a fitting term. Where it's basically like you control technology and machines.
Yeah.
The reason I think this one is interesting is because in a modern world, that's fascinating to me.
And you pretty much rule the world.
You fucking rule the world.
Yeah.
Like you can rule smartphones, tablets, computers, video games, TVs now have giant interfaces that you can do stuff with.
Exactly.
Like, I feel like
so along with just controlling machines on an exterior standpoint, you're controlling all their functions to the greatest depths of the internet interface kind of thing.
And I think it'd be really fascinating to, I mean, you'd be the world's greatest hacker, like automatically.
Yeah, absolutely.
But being able to like travel through like connections to people's phones, you know what I mean?
Definitely.
Like being able to connect through people's phones and then like hack,
yeah.
basically.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, in a modern world, that's fucking huge.
And I think it's really interesting because I would say some older superheroes have definitely had this power.
Yeah.
But in a modern day, this superpower has taken a whole new different shape and meaning.
It takes a whole new form because of all of the modern technology. And you still have all of the older technology too. I mean, you can still build a giant fighting robot.
Yeah,
you have control of machines. I would assume with this power, and this is the way I always thought about it, is that you're intelligent about those machines.
Yeah.
Way far above everybody else.
Right.
So you know how to build something like that.
Yeah.
So you're still a fighting force then too.
Absolutely. But now you have the option to have that same subtlety as mind control.
Yeah.
Where like you're super hard to track kind of thing. And if anyone even tries to track you, you can just like send them off course.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
That's true.
Yeah.
Like, no, I'm not over here. I'm way over there.
Exactly.
Fake a text message from somebody else's
never
phone.
ever be able to find you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which, oh my gosh, that's incredible.
So I don't know. For me, I love the idea of being able to control machines, and I also love the idea of being able to control, like cyborgs or like half machine, half man, because that was something that the Didact did in Halo 4.
Right.
So if you've never played Halo 4, the main bad guy, essentially, the main antagonist is the Didact, who's a part of this ancient race, and he literally just waves his hand. And not only does he just control, like, the machines, but he controls, like, he obviously has, like, mind control powers, or, like, persuasion powers, and he controls, like, the physical, or, like, the biological beings in the room, too. But he's able to immediately control machines.
Yeah.
And make them work the way he wants to. And he designs this whole crazy-ass ship and everything, and then literally just makes it float.
Yeah,
and then it's a spaceship now. I'm like, that is so cool to me.
That is pretty intense, yeah.
I don't know, having that power, like, being able to stretch to that, like, I imagine a near-future world.
Mm-hmm.
Well, probably not near-future, but a futuristic world where there's cyborgs, and you have this power, and you're able to also control that.
Yeah.
That's pretty awesome.
Definitely.
Combining mind control and...
Hand in hand mind control.
Yeah, just I would be like, oh god.
Controlling controlling all beings, basically.
Basically.
Yeah.
That would be, like, insane.
It would be
mind control and cyberkinesis and, like...
I think the most interesting thing to me about cyberkinesis is every once in a while you get a superhero who is like, yeah, I talk to the machines and they talk to me, kind of thing. It's like,
yep.
What would a machine sound like? Kind of thing, you know?
Yeah.
It'd be interesting to be able to actually understand machines as like a language kind of thing.
Yeah.
I think that would be a really interesting sound and view.
And would you be able to finally break like the AI into a thinking machine, like a thinking being.
Oh my gosh!
Like as a person who knows so much about that, would it like tip it over the edge so that you were able to make an AI a living being?
Development of a soul kind of thing.
Yeah, I'm like
iRobot.
Would you be able to do that?
Yeah.
That's
Another
kind of
thing I was thinking about is like, would you start having emotional attachment to some machines?
I 100% bet that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you like live with them and they're not necessarily speaking to you, you know, because I mean they can't exactly speak back, but
Right.
there's very much you would get involved because that's where you live.
Yeah.
Basically,
Absolutely.
and that's what you think in.
And with the cyberkinesis, there's life to them, you know.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So it adds that extra element. It's
Yeah.
like a pet or even a step further maybe.
Yeah.
You know.
Mm-hmm.
It's just really interesting to think about
Yeah.
because what would machines say, you know?
Yeah, I know because I really think with cyberkinesis you would not only just control machines, but I'd like to think you could take it a step further and like basically give them life.
Yeah.
That would be really interesting.
Absolutely.
So.
Yeah, definitely. So I will knock one off my list now.
All right.
And this is like a bunch of superpowers, but basically, I'd want to be Johann Krass from Hellboy 2.
Yeah.
For those of you who haven't seen it, he is as described on a Wikipedia, a disembodied ectoplasmic spirit. This guy is basically made of ectoplasmic energy. Just it visually, he's just gas.
Yep.
Basically, but he's in control of himself. And at the same time, he can like place himself into things and control them.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
And what did they call it? What do they call it? They called it teleplasty.
Teleplasty.
Yeah.
Which I think is absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
And once again, right up my alley of passive fighting.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of true.
There's this scene in Hellboy 2 where basically he wears this really crazy, awesome looking scuba suit to keep himself contained kind of thing. And Hellboy breaks it.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden he's like knocking lockers in his face and like Hellboy's trying to punch him, but he's just gas. He can't do anything.
Yep.
And you see this wispy guy, but he's like in control of his gas pretty much, and he's like, "See, you need control," and then he walks away and he's like, "Dum-de-dum-de-dum." So I just think he's one of the coolest superhero characters I have ever seen, and which is why I think he's awesome and totally resonates with my like passive combat style and like controlling different things, which would kind of like it's kind of like the copy ability, you know?
Yeah.
Because there's a part later where he controls a soldier of the Golden Army and he has to fight in this huge hulking body with a weird like sword dagger thing kind of thing, you know? It also takes a lot of adaptation, but not much is really a threat to you, you know?
That's very true.
So
not to this guy. Yeah, and also I'm realizing a thread here. We like to control things. Like a lot. Because literally the last one on my list is also about controlling things.
Oh my gosh.
So we like really like to control things. But I mean, as a superpower, I would honestly rather have that than just be super strong.
Absolutely.
It's more interesting to me to be able to control something, or like you said, like be ectoplasmic and like I don't know.
Yeah, I definitely get what you're saying because controlling different things has so much more complexity than a lot of different powers. I would say.
Yeah.
Cause like super strength, flight kind of stuff. It's like it's you.
Yeah.
But like controlling machines, mind control, possession, it's like the entire world around you.
Yeah.
You have to take into consideration, and there's a lot more attraction to it because there's a lot more complexity to it.
Yeah,
you know?
That's the thing. That's definitely true.
Absolutely.
So, what's do you want to talk about yours?
Yes, I'll name my number one.
Okay.
Okay. So my number one superpower is the one that I've known for the least time that I actually found on the list, and I didn't think about it much before, but it's probability manipulation or super luck.
Super luck. That is seriously one of the best superpowers I've ever heard of.
Absolutely, because
just to have awesome luck.
Yeah, virtually, this power is good in every single aspect of your life.
Seriously, every aspect.
If you think about the potential of it, there's no way to get around this power, you know?
Yep.
What is it? Superman comes charging at me with a punch ready. I got super luck. Oh look, a meteor of kryptonite falls on his head.
I win.
Yeah, exactly. You know, and what is it? You're saying this commonality of control, which we kind of both have, but once again, this is my biggest element is passiveness.
Yeah.
Like, it's all my powers except for copy, pretty much. It's like, so on top of just, like, being invulnerable to any other fighter or superpowered person in really dumb, goofy ways.
Yeah.
It can just help out your life, you know? It's like you want to start up a business. Oh, these people love your idea. There's just something about you, man. And they take you to the top, you know? You could have a successful life, lots of money, win the lottery.
Vegas would be crazy.
Exactly. Exactly.
That's such a good one to me because it's not one I think a lot of people think of.
No, like that's what made it so cool. I think, you know,
because you really don't think about like luck being a superpower. But if you imagine like having super luck, that's freaking awesome.
Exactly, but it people don't think about it because it's something so intangible. You know,
it's very true. Yeah,
it's not something that you are, or it's nothing about a physical manifestation of you. It's just a piece of life, probability.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, and it's so incredible.
Yeah, no, that's such a cool idea. I love that idea.
Absolutely.
All right,
so that is my number one superpower.
Yeah, so your number one was luck.
Yeah.
And my number one is atomic manipulation. Basically, Dr. Manhattan.
Yes.
Dr. Manhattan's so interesting to me because, have you seen or read Watchmen?
I've seen the movie.
So you've seen the movie, okay. So then, yeah, just on like a basic description of Dr. Manhattan, he just basically is able to control the smallest portion of life, atoms. And he's able to do whatever.
Yeah.
So for humanity, he creates these awesome new ways of getting energy, and he can teleport anywhere he wants, and he breathes air, so he can just do whatever he wants, and you know,
exactly,
and make himself a little shield, or make the molecules into air so he can breathe.
His all-around power is basically skyscrapers compared to other superpowers.
It basically is. I mean, it's the kind of thing that has literally limitless potential.
Yeah.
Which is why, obviously, I find it so interesting.
Yeah, definitely.
But I also find it interesting because in Watchmen, he becomes so desensitized to everything else. Because
it's true.
It's the way he thinks, because of his superpower, is just completely different from the way normal humans think.
Yeah.
If you were able to see everything at the base level, if you were able to see all atoms and the way life works, your whole viewpoint would be completely changed.
Definitely.
And I think it's pretty accurate that he becomes kind of desensitized to humanity's troubles.
Like bored and stuff like that.
Yeah, because, I mean, really, he has so much other things to think about.
Yeah.
I mean, he's fucking thinking about the entropy of the universe and how to stop it.
Yeah.
Right? And he's like, and all of these humans are worried about wars. And he's like, oh, whatever.
Yeah,
and exactly. I find that really interesting, because I'm like, I really think that could happen.
But the interesting thing about Dr. Manhattan is, he has the emotions still.
No, he does. Like, he does.
He has love and attraction.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Still, even though definitely later he fades out from that.
Yeah, I mean, he definitely still has these emotions, and I think she brings them back for him near the end of the movie.
Right.
And that's kind of why he comes back.
Mm-hmm.
But it's very much it's just an interesting concept to me.
Definitely.
That's where he would kind of go with that.
Right.
Because you're able to understand everything on an atomic level.
It
would go very quickly from mind control. Like, yeah, I'm just messing with people. Or like controlling
to
machines.
like almost
really
a curse.
Awesome. Yeah, to almost like a curse. Like it's definitely it can be as much bad as it is good. Like that's really interesting to me.
So I'm seeing another pattern here. It
Are
seems
you?
like basically between your and my powers, you want to take on as much responsibility as possible, and I want to avoid as much responsibility as possible.
Yeah.
You're much more noble than me.
You're like, fuck that. I just want to stand over here and have things happen. And I'm like, I want to do as much as humanly possible. That might be actually kind of true. Although atomic manipulation isn't really at the top of my list because it would be something I want. I just think it's a cool superpower.
Absolutely.
That's why it's at the top. But like, yeah, I can kind of see what you mean. That's actually really funny.
Oh, that's hilarious. Oh my gosh. So, yeah.
That's really funny. So yeah, those are our lists.
Those are our top superpowers, and I guess you've been halfway in a therapy session almost, finding out our inner workings and stuff.
You're now like, oh shit, is there something like wrong with me?
I don't think I want to be friends with these guys anymore.
I'm like, yes, I will control everything.
And I'm just like, yeah, you control that.
Yeah,
I'll do my own thing.
I'm gonna go over here and not talk to any of you.
I'm good.
Yeah,
my life is great just because.
Oh man. Well, that was it was a good discussion.
Yeah.
I liked it.
Yeah. I feel like
we learned some stuff about ourselves and each other today.
We've resonated on a deeper level.
Yes, definitely.
From here on out, things will be different.
Yeah, now I know if I ever get into a fight with you. Now I know what your style's gonna be like.
Exactly. Paul, get back here! I can't reach you.
You're just running away. Damn it, Paul.
Later.
All right. Well, I hope you enjoyed this little discussion today.
Mini discussion
on superpowers.
Yeah. I think this is a great one you all can get involved with. Just tell us what superpowers you'd want to have.
Just give us a top 5 or just one. One you
top
really,
five,
really want.
Top 1, top 5, top 10.
Whatever.
I'll read it all. We'll read it all.
That's true.
We're looking forward to what you'll say.
So you can find us at Facebook, the Fan Voice Podcast, Twitter at Fan Voice Podcast,
YouTube.com/The Fan Voice Podcast. Our email for super in-depth messages and stuff that you'd like to do on reviews or maybe this list of superpowers or something. fan@thefanvoice.com.
Yep.
And then finally our website, thefanvoice.com.
And you can see all the articles and stuff on there that we'll be posting.
Yeah, we got numerous articles along with these podcasts that we release every week. So, yeah, once again, hope you enjoyed this. And we look forward to hearing about your super selves.
Yeah, tell us your favorite superpower next week.
Yeah.
We'll go over some of those.
All right.
All right.
Thanks,
See you guys later.
See you later.